with you. I got some special guests with me today, and this is Mr. Doug Marshall. He's the president. Cordelia Stanley, she's the director of the Moderate Residential Care, and they are from the Presbyterian Home for Children. And also, this is their 155th anniversary. What a celebration for something to be still going after 155 years. It is amazing to me. And I'd like for you to meet Mr. Doug and Ms. Cordelia. And good morning.
Good morning, Randy.
How are y'all?
We are great.
Doing
We're
well.
very thankful to be on Daybreak this morning with you and your listeners.
Well, it's my honor to have y'all, and I thank y'all very much for coming. And let's just dive into it. Mr. Doug, could you tell us a little bit more about the 155th anniversary of the Presbyterian Home for Children?
Absolutely. So for 155 years, we have been a place of healing, providing a path of hope for at-risk and homeless children, youth, young female adults, and families. So we're providing love, compassion, everything to help them succeed, no matter what crisis they've been in. And so I'm really excited to have Cordelia with me. She's one of my senior leaders at the home. But what we do is provide hope and healing.
Yes. And we need that.
And we do.
Yes.
We really do. I mean, we face a lot of difficult situations, but Cordelia and my other staff, we're there to help support them so that they can help those entrusted to our care succeed.
Right. And before we get started, 155 years, y'all know what y'all doing. That it is amazing to me that y'all have been around that long, and the help y'all have given is amazing.
So for 155 years, you're talking about thousands and thousands of individuals, all made in the image of Almighty God, and I believe with immeasurable value and great purpose.
Exactly.
Let's dive in and talk about what all we do, because we do it, Randy. We talked earlier, but we do this on campus and we do it off campus.
Okay.
And we really have a large variety of programs and services to meet different needs.
Right. Okay. Now, Miss Cordelia.
Yes.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Could, since you're the director of the Moderate Residential Care, could we talk for a minute about the programs that y'all have on campus?
Sure, we definitely can. Like Doug said, we offer hope and healing to all. So I think of my job as the Moderate Residential Care Director as my ministry. I, try to just meet our residents where they are. The Moderate Care Program serves teen girls, adolescent girls ages 13 to 17, who have a background of abuse, neglect, and have some emotional disturbance. So we teach them a area of restorative services to kind of help them to gain independence, where they'll be able to be successful in whatever setting that they're going to once they leave the home.
Okay.
The amount of time that they spend there is just kind of dependent on them and their progress. So we try to, as I said before, meet them where they are and get them to a period of independence so that they can go on to be successful. Right.
And, I don't know what we would do without folks like y'all. This world would be, we would be in a mess.
Right.
And
well, we've all, it's a calling.
Yes.
So, we all work together.
Right.
And, you guys are a blessing to us to have us here today so that we can talk about what we do.
Right.
So we, ultimately, at the end of the day, we're all in this together.
That's right. That's
Correct.
right.
Correct.
Now, Cordelia, let's talk just for a minute about the things that y'all do to transition to adult living for these young female adults. Now you're talking about the moderate care teen girls.
Yes.
Those ages are
13 to 17.
okay, and then y'all get them in your program, and then once the transition to adult living, that's females from 19 to 24.
Yes, that's our other on-campus program for young adults in crisis, female adults in crisis,
Okay.
who basically kind of like similar things with the moderate care program. We help with independent living skills, budgeting, helping them find jobs, teaching social skills and other things to help them be independent. For those, we have some who are enrolled in school, the community college and the local Talladega College and other places, to just kind of help them get to a period of independence as well.
Okay. What a great
And,
program.
Right.
and we celebrate those graduations.
Right.
I bet
mean,
you do.
Oh yeah, I mean we are there
Yes.
because it's a major accomplishment in their lives.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Education is a game changer.
And it lets them know what an accomplishment they have made
Right.
too.
Right.
And it's a two-way street, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Y'all are proud, they are proud, and well, what a great program.
Many of those young ladies don't have the financial or even emotional support of a family.
Right.
So,
We become
leaders,
that family.
we really do.
Yeah.
And so, Cordelia and others become like a mom.
Right,
And, we know how special moms are.
right.
And so we become moms.
You let them know what it's like to really have a family.
Right. Or
Y'all
whatever
are
the
one
need
big
is.
happy family.
We
Right.
are. We are.
Right.
Right, right.
Now, we
Right.
also have our secure dwelling. So
Okay.
this is for homeless boys and girls and their female caregiver. Mom could be their grandmother. So similar, but a little different. But Cordelia, you want to
Right. Once
talk
again,
about that?
Once again, each case is different. Whatever their need is, we help with that need.
Right.
We teach parenting classes. Once again, budgeting. We have a good relationship with the local Head Start, where we are kind of moved up on the waiting list to
Right.
assist those families. So, like I said, whatever the need is, applying for jobs, applying for financial assistance, any of the services that DHR offers, we try to get them in line with that. So whatever the need is for those children and that mom, grandmother, aunt, whoever has custody of the children, we try to offer whatever help with whatever need that they
Y'all are
have.
there for them.
We are.
Okay.
We are.
So in that case, this could be again boys and girls.
Right.
This could be a baby, could be all the way to age 18.
Right.
But what you have is the female caregiver, the legal guardian there, and we're helping her succeed
Exactly.
while we're providing a place for them, the children, to be safe and secure and be able to grow, play, rest, live. It's a transitional shelter. It's not an
Okay.
emergency shelter. So
Okay.
it could be up to 2 years, Randy.
Okay. Doug, could you tell us a little something about the impact of the off-campus programs that y'all have?
Sure. So we have Ascension Leadership Academy. So this is a fully accredited K through 12 private faith-based
Okay.
education. And it's located at First Presbyterian of Talladega.
Okay.
So we have our own building and our own playground. And so, we have the elementary and the secondary. All of our teachers have been in public education. They've retired from years and years of teaching. And so they're highly qualified. So we serve all of our residential students from all the programs we've talked about. That's where they go to school.
Right.
But we also open it up to the community that may want a private faith-based, smaller classroom type of education.
Right.
Randy, one story that really comes, that always comes back to me, we were in Ascension one day, and we had a I believe she was 14, it was one of the girls that we were serving in our moderate care program. And she had really been through some of the most extreme trauma and abuse, neglect, starvation. And we had learned that she had never even had a birthday party, ever.
Really?
Okay, so, those kind of...
Doug, I don't mind to interrupt you, but people don't realize these situations happen. It's hard to imagine somebody that's 14 years old has never had a birthday party.
Right.
It just will rip your heart out. But,
Yes.
but we, Cordelia, like, it's on the front line here, but we've got to take them where they're at and love them and help them. But this one little girl was at the school, and we had Miss Alabama. So Jessica Proctor, now it's, she's got married, but it was
Right.
Jessica Proctor before. So Miss Alabama.
Right.
And I took her to the School of the Blind, so blind children were touching her crown.
Right.
But she came to the school, and she got to tell our kids that they could do anything they wanted. Could be anything. They had it within them.
Right.
But we had some media there, and there was too much sensory overload for this little girl.
Right.
Okay, so she went out of the room crying. And so Jessica left the room, walked out into the hallway, and she said, "Can I give you a hug?" Well, this little girl needed a hug, probably wanted a hug, but she couldn't even take a hug. I mean, and again, the reason I brought the story up, because I'll never forget it, Jessica knelt down and said, "Can I give you a hug?" And that little girl ran across the hall into the arms of Miss Alabama. Now, that night on Facebook, Jessica would write, "In my entire reign as Miss Alabama, this has been the peak of my experience being at the Alabama School for the Blind and being at the Presbyterian Home for Children."
Right.
But we take them one at a time, and in that little girl, we do everything possible to help her succeed.
What a traumatic life she had been through before that.
Right.
And it sounds to me, now I wasn't there, but just from your story, she was, it was amazing the experience that she got with Miss Alabama, and I'm very familiar with the blind school and the deaf school. I have 2 deaf children myself. They're grown ladies now, they have their own families, but one of them started there when she was 2.5, the other one started when she was 3.5, and I can really relate to the stories that you're telling.
Well, Alabama Institute for Deaf and Blind, they're our friends, they're our neighbors, they're our partners, so we're big fans there. But to end that story, once we found out about our kids always have birthday parties, right? But the fact that she had never had one,
Right.
we gave her the biggest birthday party ever.
Right. As a matter of fact, the other girls in the cottage, once they found out that she had never had a birthday party, wanted to give her a surprise party. So that's what we did. Ordered her favorite meal and shared it. She shared it with the other girls, and it was really a great celebration.
And that's, when they spent their own money,
Mm-hmm.
their own money,
Right.
to buy something for someone else. I mean, showing love.
Love.
That
That is pure love.
It's
right
pure
there.
love, and it's part of the healing
Right.
process.
Right.
Right. What an amazing story. And I imagine you've got hundreds of those
yeah.
stories.
We do.
But thank you for sharing that one. It kind of symbols what y'all do.
Mm-hmm.
And what an amazing story. And I wish we had time to cover more, but we need to move on.
Sure.
Okay. Now, could you talk a minute about the family bridges?
I'm going to let Cordelia handle that
Okay.
one,
Okay.
but it's a great program.
Okay.
Our Family Bridges program is our intensive in-home program that serves DHR clients who have either lost custody of their children or who are trying to retain custody of their children. Family preservation and reunification.
Okay.
And we have family support workers who, like the other on-campus programs, go into the homes and teach those skills to help those families. It could be parenting classes, anger management, budgeting, whatever their needs are, we meet those needs to try to help keep those families together or reunify those families.
Right.
So,
And we also need to mention, this is not just for Talladega County. Y'all serve other counties.
Seven
counties.
counties.
7 counties.
Seven
in
counties.
East Central Alabama.
Okay. And the mission of the outreach to children and youth living in extreme poverty in Wilcox and Marengo counties. Could you
Yes.
explain that a little bit?
I can. So, Randy, missional theology is when you see God at work in the world and you go join that work. So our donors have seen God at work in the world at the Presbyterian Home for Children and have been a part of us.
Okay.
So we saw some small groups working in Wilcox and Marengo counties, Presbyterians, and we began to help them succeed. We began to practice missional theology. We saw God at work in the world in Wilcox and like, how can we help you? So these are youth in extreme poverty. Some of them never even been out of Wilcox County. And we've taken them to summer camp. We've helped with mentoring, job readiness, peer pressure, basic skill, how to rate a tape measure, but just really encouraging them, giving them hope. We love it when they go to camp with us. They're going to be going to camp again in this summer. We already have it scheduled. But we are going into a place that is really very poor and not a lot of hope. And we're just providing, we brought in winter coats for 250 kids in Irving Elementary School this past Christmas.
Amazing.
Every kid got a coat, winter
And
coat.
is it fair to say this is all God's work?
Definitely.
I would say it's all
Definitely.
God's work.
Definitely.
This is all God's work. Amazing. Can we talk for a minute about the historical book release
Sure.
About the home?
Sure. So our 8th president was Reverend Dr. Alan Jacobs, and he was there, I believe, for 21 years. So he wrote the first book. It was a 100-year historical book. We call it the Blue Book because it's blue. But it went from 1864 to 1964.
Okay.
And just there's pictures and just kind of the history, and he pulled from the corporate minutes and just stories. So we are reissuing that book. It's kind of a second edition. And then we have a sequel that's going to go from 1965 up until the next 55 years to bring it current. And so we hope to be releasing that in early summer. We've been working on it for 2 years. So it's very exciting.
Good, good. Can we talk for a minute about the Union Village construction?
We can. So Union Village is unique and unmatched in the country. There is nothing like it. So this is where, at the back of our campus, in a safe, secure place, we are providing permanent supportive housing for blind, deaf-blind, multi-disabled adults.
Right.
Okay, that are being served by the Alabama Institute for Deaf and Blind, AIDB.
Right.
So this is a partnership between us and them. So we own the facilities. They're providing programs for those individuals, full wraparound supports to help them succeed, to help them be independent, just like we're doing for teen girls and moms and so forth. So what we have is 5 large cottages, and then we have 4 small, tiny cottages that's for one person, and we're building 6 more as we speak. Okay, so
Amazing.
ultimately we will have 42 tiny cottages. Over time, we have the 5 large cottages, but right now we have 34 individuals.
Right.
So the AIDB is an amazing organization, world
Yes.
class, okay? But the one thing they're not able to do is they're not able to provide housing for blind and deaf adults.
Right.
That is just they're part of the state. They're not able to do that.
Well,
So-
they're more into the teaching.
Right, they just, I mean, they provide housing for their residential students.
Right.
But, you know, so what happens is the adult, you've got blind and deaf adults, particularly blind, that may be in a cellar, may be in a terrible place,
Yes.
paying too much money, unsafe, unclean. So we can. For us, it's ministry.
Right.
But all of those program supports, you know, to help them succeed, transportation, you know, their education, you know, there's a plan for, it's an individual plan for each one depending upon what their disability is.
Right.
That's all done by AIDB. And then it's safe, secure, affordable, and then the rents come back and help us take care of children. Okay, so that's our core ministry. So it's another, it's a ministry, but it's also a diversified source of funding to help us take care of kids.
You know, we are, and sometimes we forget, if you don't go by AIBD, if you don't drive by the Helen Keller School, or you don't drive by the Dell School, sometimes we forget how lucky we are in Talladega County to have these institutes in our county. Me and my wife personally, once you go up there and you see the process of everything that happens, we were so lucky that Talladega and AIBD and the Alabama School for the Deaf is only 20 miles away.
Right.
Right.
My kids, my girls, the whole time, they caught the bus down here. Now, my wife had to drive them till they was 6 or 8 years old, but the rest of the time, all the way through the time they graduated, the bus came down here to Sylacauga, met out here at the First Baptist Church, and they picked kids up from our area and took them. And once you get up there and you realize that there's a few from Talladega County, but you got kids from Mobile, you got kids from
Right.
Fort Payne, and we have to, they live there. Except, you know, once a month on the weekends, they go home.
Right.
But it is amazing the way people like y'all, like yourselves,
Right.
that help out the AIDB Institute. Like you said, they can't do everything. They do a lot. They teach our kids not only education, they teach them right for wrong, but what y'all do is amazing. And
We're very proud to be a friend, neighbor, partner with
Right.
AIDB. I believe that both institutions were birthed in the heart of God
I do too.
and planted in
I
Talladega
do.
for purpose.
I agree with you 100%. I believe that too. Okay, let's move on just a minute. Can we talk for a minute about the thrift store?
Wow, I definitely want to talk about the thrift
Okay.
store. So we used to have a small thrift store on campus. Got a lot of loyal customers, but we decided to go big. And so we relocated. We're on Highway 77 in the Northgate Shopping Center, right next to Marvin's and Custom Pizza. All that right there. So we have this 20,000 square foot store. 16,000 is sales and 4,000 is processing and, you know, in the back. So this is a massive store, and we have, Randy, we have everything.
Right.
I mean, we've got women's clothes, children's clothes, we got kitchenware, we got furniture, lamps,
Tires.
but we have tires. Most thrift stores don't have tires, so we have nearly new off-road tires.
Location. Where is the thrift store located?
Okay, Northgate Shopping Center on Highway 77 as you're coming in from Lincoln into Talladega.
Okay.
We also have U-Haul dealership.
One more thing I want to talk about with you, Doug.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about this huge award y'all just run. We got about 1 minute to
Okay.
talk about it, so tell us all about that
All right,
award.
so this is hot off the press. We just got 4-star rating from Charity Navigator. So Charity Navigator is the largest independent evaluator of nonprofits in the country.
Right.
So 25% of their nonprofits they're evaluating, only 25% get 4-star. We got it, and it's all about accountability, sustainability, transparency, governance, all of those things that donors care about, and they just awarded us that. And we're very proud. It took a team effort.
I know y'all. Well, look, I know y'all deserved every bit of that award, and thank you so much for what y'all do. And I don't know what we'd do without y'all. And let me tell you something that has lasted 155 years. It's going right. Y'all are doing an excellent job. Continue. Thank y'all for coming on the show.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
for
us.
having
And
us.
we have a lot of donors and supporters in Sylacauga
Right.
and surrounding. So, of course, thank you to all of them.
Right. Thank you for that huge award y'all just won. I'm sure it was well worth it. Not many people get so 4-star awards.
Not many.
Right. Thank you very
Thank you, Randy.
much for coming on. This is Doug, and this is Cordelia, and they are with the Presbyterian Home for Children. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching Daybreak today.